afraid of being called far right. Here are 5 reasons why you, as an Irish man or woman, should vigorously oppose mass migration into our country, be it legal or illegal. And you should never feel ashamed of that or be afraid of being called far right. Number 1 is obvious: demographic change. As of the 1st of January of 2025, 23.3% of the Irish population was people born outside of Ireland. Foreigners. That figure does not include children born to migrant parents in Ireland. So the real figure is probably closer to 30%, and that was as of last year. Add a year's worth of immigration to that, 120 odd thousand people they brought in last year. And we're realistically looking at a situation where almost 1 in 3 people in Ireland is now a foreigner. Number 2, housing. I think we're all well aware of the situation with housing in Ireland, especially if you're an Irish person, because we're used to living in a country where housing and the future and whether or not you'll have somewhere to lay your head at night wasn't a worry. But as of late, since we started importing half the world, housing has become a major issue. We have a huge homeless problem, and we have a huge hidden homeless problem. Young adults, working professionals who can't get out of their parents' houses because there's nowhere for them to rent or nowhere for them to buy. The cost of purchasing or even renting a home in Ireland has gone through the roof. And we all know this. In towns like Waterford, where we don't have half the population, a fraction of the population of Dublin, you're still paying crazy prices. Reducing immigration is the only way to solve that. It's not about building more houses. It's not about finding more places to stuff these people. It's about reducing the demand. The supply will catch up once the demand is reduced, because the demand at the moment is unnatural demand. 20,000 people a year coming from India, thousands coming from Brazil and China, thousands coming from Nigeria. These people have no right to housing in Ireland. It's time you started saying that. Number 3, healthcare. This one is similar to housing, as we all are well aware. Have you tried to get an appointment with an Irish GP lately? You've been waiting weeks, if you're lucky. Have you attended the accident emergency department in an Irish hospital lately? Lads, there's hundreds of thousands. We know this. The government is importing Ukrainian soldiers for priority medical care in Ireland. They're importing injured Palestinian children for priority medical care in Ireland. While Irish children can't get medical care in Ireland, the healthcare system is collapsing. And we know the nonsense that they always say that immigrants keep the healthcare service running. They don't. We know that. If you've dealt with any of them, we know that. I have healthcare professionals in my family. We probably all do. They tell you straight out that, especially the ones coming from Asia, India, they're useless at their job. Most of them can't speak English, and the standards are falling through the floor because of these people. But the Irish Indian Medical Association wants the government to introduce legislation to make it easier for Indians to come to Ireland and work as doctors in Ireland. Folks, the healthcare system is on the verge of collapse. And if we keep importing thousands of people every week, it's going to collapse. You can have social healthcare. You can have a welfare state. But you can't offer that welfare to the whole world. It doesn't work like that. Number 4, crime. Aisling Murphy, Aidan Moffat, Michael Snee, Rose Hanrahan. I could sit here listing names for the day. But we all know exactly what's going on in Ireland lately. We all know the more diverse Ireland has become, the more dangerous Ireland has become. Every single one of us is living a different version of the life we were living in our own country just 5 or 10 years ago, pre-COVID. The tranquil nature of Ireland has been replaced with an unpredictability that violence and heinous crimes can happen at any time, at any place, not just in the city centre of Dublin. It can happen in rural Kerry or Galway or Mayo or Waterford, anywhere. Sligo, homosexual men had their heads chopped off by a Muslim migrant from Iraq who had 357,000 euros in cash in his bedroom. Aisling Murphy, I don't even need to talk about that. Everybody knows the brutality that young woman died, the way she died. These are new, unfamiliar levels of crime that we're dealing with in Ireland. And it's the regularity of it as well as the really, really, really worrying thing. We don't leave our kids go to places that they used to go. We don't leave them go out certain times of the day that they previously felt comfortable going out, no problem. We all know the old saying. We used to leave our doors open in Ireland and our cars. That was true. We used to have a beautiful country, tranquil, predictable, safe. And now everyone's on edge because we're wondering when the next lunatic migrant who wants to chop someone up because he has no money in his pocket or because he's angry that he has no medication. It's inevitable. We know there will be another one. We know there will be another Ashley Murphy. 5. Ownership of Ireland. It says it very clearly in the proclamation. Ireland belongs to the Irish people. This is our land. Our one tiny little piece of land on this earth. And what a lot of you don't seem to understand is the entire history of humanity has been one group taking from another. Land, resources, whatever it is. You don't just get to keep things by saying they're yours. You have to be willing to fight for them. And for some of you, that might be as simple as just saying the words Ireland belongs to the Irish and not being ashamed, not being afraid of being called a racist or far right. This is your country. It's your children's country and their children's country. It's their birthright. What will they do in 20, 30 years if Ireland is a minority, or the Irish are a minority in Ireland? Is your son or your daughter going to have an Indian landlord? Will their HR manager work be African? Will they be able to get a job? We've already seen discrimination in hiring practices in Ireland to bring in more diversity. This is real stuff, folks. You can't just put on an Irish jersey when the soccer team are playing a few times a year, shout ole, 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 and call yourself a good Irishman. That's easy. Getting the patriotism out of you cathartically by watching other men kick a football around. No. It's time you start channeling that into real life. And that starts with standing up and saying Ireland belongs to the Irish. And nobody's going to take it from us.